Hello everybody. I'd just first like to say congratulations to everyone for finishing the course. It's been a long road, I'm sure, for all of us, but guess what? We've all made it, yay. It's been hard, but we've all overcome it, and I think that we're all glad that we did. But, it was a challenge for me at first, having to learn how to speak into a camera instead of being able to walk around the room and to be able to speak, in person to people and look them into the eye. But, in a way, it was really good that we had the experience of just being able to look directly into a camera, because I think that it will help us in our fields, especially in graphic design and anything like that. You may be called upon to be able to have to deal on camera at some time, and especially if you work in the media, you need to be able to look into the camera and speak effectively, which I think this course really helped us. So in a way, it was beneficial that we had, to speak into a camera. I found also, a challenge to have to do with learning how to do compression. But again, I think that's going to help me in my field of studying graphic design, because there's going to be times where I need to learn how to compress and stuff, and then I may even be working with video at times. So I think that was good. And I'm sure that it was hard for everyone because dealing with different computers and everything, but I think that we were able to accomplish it now, and I think that it'll be better for us in the future. There was a few highlights of the course that I really thought were good in helping me create my speeches for this class, and it talks about in our textbooks about determining a goal on a topic. I had taken previous speech classes before, and they had never taught me about really creating a brain tree, which I thought this was excellent that our textbooks told us about this, because it helped me understand it, because I am always, using brain trees to come up with ideas for graphic design and how to, come up with creative things for my layouts and everything, and I thought that it was great that they told me that for determining my goal or for my topic, and because I have a real trouble coming up with narrowing down everything for a main goal for topic, because there's so many aspects that you could talk about. And this one, for example, we had to come up with a topic, but it was easy because it was something that we could speak about. In my other speech classes, we had always had to. We were given it from our teachers or instructors what our speech was supposed to be about. But this was great because, especially for the informative speech, I really felt comfortable doing it because it was about laser surgery, and I really just, that's something that I've always wanted to get done. And so it meant something to me, so it was easier for me to speak about it. I also thought, that this was another highlight of the course that was really good, was learn about how to create an introduction and conclusion that was, effective and that would grab your audience's attention. That's so effective. And I thought it was interesting because on my persuasive speech, I used an actual song from, Frank Sinatra, Love and Marriage, Go Together Like a Horse and Carriage. It's a way to grab my audience, and a song that they probably already knew. Also, the visual aids, I found it was interesting because the book showed us so many different varieties of visual aids that I never even thought of, and, we can use more than just PowerPoint now. We can actually use real video, or we can use movies, and things that really will grab our audience's attention. And, I've been to some where they've used parts from The Matrix, choosing the pill and options like that, which, I think speeches have come a long way, than what they used to be, just, and being boring to everyone. So I think that this class really, made me think differently about how to create my speeches, and that, I can be more confident in presenting a speech to someone, and that I can actually enjoy giving a speech, not just, dread being in front of people, but it was a great course, and I thank all of you for making me feel so comfortable in this class. You all have been so great, and when I just thought that, I did horribly, you guys encouraged me, and it really just helped me go in and to not to want to quit this class. So thank you, everyone, for being such an encouragement, and thank you, Angie, for being supportive as well, and just, taking the time just, to answer all my questions and to encourage me to do well in this class. So I hope that you all do well in your future classes, and I'm going to miss seeing your lovely faces. Thank you, guys, and I will hopefully be able to talk to you later. Okay, bye.